What's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson for the Sports Arena. Hey, you know what time it is. It's getting to be about that time. One of my favorite times of the year. You know, football may have fallen off, but basketball is here, and the WNBA is getting ready to get started. Already in free agency, and we've seen all the moves that have been made. So whenever that happens, I have to talk to my guy. I mean, listen, he's one of the most humblest men I have ever met in my life. I don't know if I've shared this story, but 2 years ago, when the Chicago Sky won their first championship, I happened to be walking outside of the arena, and who do I see coming down the street holding the championship? It was truly this man right here, my next guest. You already know the head coach, general manager of the WNBA Chicago Sky. James Wade is in the building. Coach, what's good, man?
How you doing, man? I'm good. I can't complain, man. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Before we even get started, man, I see you got a little superstar in the house, man. How is Jet? How is that Weege doing? How's the family?
Hey, it's hitting us by storm, man. He's doing good, but he's really taking a passion for this soccer thing, and he's taking off right now. So we're happy to be a part of it and kind of watch him grow in that direction. So it surprised us, but his mom is doing good. I'm doing well, and it's cool just being a soccer dad, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take you out of soccer dad mode because, like I said, the season is not that far away from getting started. I mean, I just got the email today that the draft's going to be happening next in April up in New
Yeah.
York again. But you, sir, um, don't have any draft picks this year, but that's okay because I mean, look, there's a new look to Chicago, so that's what I want to talk about. I mean, first off, Courtney Williams. Secondly, Isabel Harrison. Thirdly, Marina Mabry. I mean, Coach, when you turn the page, you turn the page, man. This is the next chapter right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the next chapter for us, and free agency. I felt like we were aggressive, and when you lose the way we lost last year, you want the opportunity to run it back, and so and that's the way we approach free agency. But when we saw that that wasn't going to be the case, then we had to pivot and go in another direction because the players they had other aspirations, and we understand and respect those. But it's not going to stop from what the Chicago Sky is trying to do, and so I thought that we were able to put together a good team with good players that were hungry and had the same vision. I think that was the thing for us in free agency. Like, we needed players that had the same vision, and that vision is the staff's vision, is the organization's vision, and we feel like that's the case with the players that we have now, and we're just excited to move into a direction where we think the sky's the limit for us.
Well, I mean, listen, you have always said there is no limit because y'all are the sky. You
Yeah,
have
that's
made that
right, man.
very clear.
That's right. That's right.
So,
And I mean, that's what we do, man. And it's just gonna double up right now.
so you spoke of ownership, and I definitely want to get into that because there has been some new changes in the
Yeah.
ownership with the Sky. So, have you had a chance to meet and talk to the new ownership, and just give me, if you don't mind, sharing with me just your thoughts on everything? Because it truly seems like this year people want to call it a rebuild or a rebrand. No, it's just a simple transition from one to the next.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
being who you are in your position, wearing that dual hat, talk to me about the ownership piece of it.
No, I mean we've added, we still have our majority owner in Michael Alter, but we've added ownership and and Nadia Rawlinson, and I was able to talk to her when I was on a scouting trip in Turkey, and we were able to have like a really really nice conversation, and me seeing her vision and what she wanted to add to the Sky, and her also being an African American woman that is very well known, and has put her staple down in many businesses and in Chicago itself, and also nationally, and just knowing her background, I think this is going to put us in an advantageous situation where she's going to help us grow.
I mean, listen, that's what the W is about the empowerment of women. So seeing someone who looks like us, a female, in that high ranking position, I mean, it only speaks to the evolution of the progression that is Black women in America. So I'm so excited to see that. But let's get to you. Let's get to, this season. 40 games this year. Of course,
Yeah,
there is going to be an all-star game.
yeah.
Talk to me about this new look, because my first question to you with regards to this is, Coach, you have a specific type of game that your team plays. We call it the James Wade style of basketball.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
do Courtney Williams, Isabel Harrison, how do Marina Mabry, how do they fit into James Wade ball?
So this is the thing, and this is what I like preach during free agency, and I talk to um I talk to our coaches about too. I think we have players, they don't, they're not the same style.
Right.
And I felt like, people are used to, okay, he has these bigs that can stretch the floor, that, do all these things. And uh, we have players that maybe Elizabeth Williams, you might not see her shoot a three all year, but she adds value in different places. That's different from what Candace or what other players did, Emma or whatever. And I think we can benefit from those. And so I always think that our staff, we have a great staff, and it's up to us to figure out how we're going to score and how we're going to affect the game in a way that makes us just as good or even better than the teams that we've had previously. And I feel like our staff is up to that challenge of doing that. And so it'll be a little different, but the way we play and the things that we try to get done, that's going to be the same. And so I think it's going to be high efficiency and high pace. And I think that's the thing, that's direction you have to go. We're a little bit more athletic than we were last year, and so we have to play to that. And so that's going to be really exciting for us to actually kind of get these new recipes and whip something up. So it's going to be really cool.
All right. So then my next question to you is, how do you feel about the schedule with regards to travel? Listen, I understand it's a part of the game, but it appears as though the league is trying to at least accommodate as far as not having to like this one on, one off kind of thing. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on the travel situation.
I mean, I'm okay with it. The thing that we're geographically fine, and
Okay.
we've been that way because of where we're located, where we haven't had the strenuous like trips that other teams that, let's say, are in the Northwest and the Northeast, that they have, because they have to fly across the country and then fly back. And so for us, it hasn't been as bad, and I don't think it will be, because we're so centrally located. And so, I mean, I'm whatever they can do to whatever improve it is always great. I'm never against it, but for us, it hasn't been that bad. And the fact that we're not far from the airport, and our trips are, we have, United is a hub of Chicago.
Right.
So, we normally get really, really good flights. So, no, I mean, I think, maybe the one only issue that we've had in the recent years, if everybody knows, is our trip to Connecticut, our trips to Connecticut. And I think that's sometimes that could be an issue for everyone. But no, I mean, it's for us, it's been good.
Yeah, I've made that trip last season, going between DC, Connecticut, and then New York. It was like that trip from DC to Connecticut. I was like, ooh, I was like, okay. I was like, listen, I'm gonna make this happen. But I can
Yeah.
definitely understand with regard to, that travel being just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Uh, when you look at this schedule and you see, I mean, listen, these are teams that you have seen over the last several years. You know them. There may have been some changes, but the name's still the same. How impressed are you at just how the W has been able to evolve and grow? Because going from, let's just take 3 years ago, when you were down here in Bradenton, Florida, in IMG, you
Mhm.
were all in the wubble, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it just seems like there has been this explosion over the last 3 years to where the world has been put on notice about just the 144 women who make up the WNBA. So talk to me just about that 3-year time span versus from where you were to where you are now, how you're feeling about the progression of it.
Yeah, I thought like once, the pandemic hit, we were building in the WNBA. 2019 was a magical season, I think, for the WNBA. And it was like, man, we have to put a pause on it. And so the players, they really came together and they sacrificed a lot just to, for the league to continue to grow.
Right.
And that sacrifice has benefited in a lot of things. And now you see the explosion, and it's a group effort. You have you have the players, you have the staffs, you have the ownership, and you have leadership from the league and Kathy on down. And I think we do a good job of working together to try to make this thing blossom and grow. And and I couldn't ask to be in a better league, man. And you've seen, like, since the restrictions have been taken off. And because we started 2021, the 2021 season actually looked like two different seasons.
Yeah.
We actually started where it was no fans, and by the end of the year, we're in sellout crowds. It seems like two different seasons. And and so you've seen that kind of carry over and keep on growing. And it's been amazing to see, man. And we just want to keep this thing going at the top. And now you see in free agency where all this player movement is calling Twitter to go bananas. Like, the Twitter has been going crazy. And just because your favorite player is going to another team, or your favorite team is adding a player, or all these things has just caused the league to grow. So it's cool. And hopefully this thing continues to blossom and explode. And as you hear Kathy talking about expansion and all these other things, us playing a preseason game in Canada, that's the first time that's ever happened. And no, we're excited of where we are. And we're just happy. I'm just happy to be a part of it, honestly.
See, this is why I appreciate Coach, because the man knows how to tee him up for me. Talking to the general manager, head coach of the Chicago Sky, James Wade. So that was my next question was, you are heading to Canada. You are, again, being that pioneer. You're going to be one of two teams to take your game overseas. Well, not overseas, but to the Great White North, as they call it,
Yeah.
and have a WNBA game in Canada. What does that mean to you? And when you heard the news, what did that do for you and for Chicago?
So I think for us, you've seen like the last 2-3 years where, not only, did we win a championship, but, we hosted the All-Star game. That's never happened here in Chicago. We hosted Commissioner's Cup. And now, when you want to, show the league, when you want to show the league in a different country, you choose premier ball clubs. And so for us to be chosen, for us to be asked, I thought, I was really humbled by it. And I couldn't imagine, maybe 6-7 years ago, if Chicago would have been the first team out of, and it's nothing that they weren't doing right. It's just that it just shows how much we've grown, and how much, how people look at us as an organization. And I just thought I thought it was really flattering and humbling just for them to say, hey, look, you're the team that we want to be in Canada to represent the WNBA. And so you can't do nothing but feel, a sense of pride, and you just want to continue to grow that and just, represent the WNBA as well as you can.
Yeah. My last question for you, Coach, and as always, I appreciate you. Completely not Chicago Sky related, but we just did find out recently that Brittany Griner has signed a 1-year deal to play for Phoenix, and I believe their home opener, if I'm not mistaken, May 21st, is against you.
Yeah, man.
So, and that's going to be a packed out crowd just because it is her return, and the world is going to want to talk to her. But I have to ask you, because I know you have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Coach, have you spoken to her? How is she doing? And how excited are you to be able to be there when the world gives her flowers for being able, for everything she's endured, she's able to come back home and do what she loves on that court?
I sent her a message welcoming her back, and telling her how grateful I am, and saying that I'll catch up with her soon. That was the gist of it. And
Okay.
I know that she's in a good place right now, and she has her family around her, and I'm excited. So I don't know if I could bring my family with us to that game, but I look forward to seeing her, and just giving her a hug. And so I think I told her that too, by text. And so that's it, man. I'm excited as everyone else is, that she's home. And the farther we can get away from, the incarceration, and she can put that in the rear view. And I hope that it can be as distant a memory, as the pain it caused. Hopefully, she continues to grow from, away from it.
Right.
And she has a year that brings her a lot of peace and a lot of joy, because that's normally what basketball gave to her. So I'm excited about, that being a home opener for them. And we were the last team she played
Yeah.
in the WNBA. So it's gonna feel good to kind of be a bookend for that horrible situation.
Agreed. I mean, listen, I'm always excited for the season. You get your opportunity to kind of just sit back this year and look at all the draft picks and kind of figure out, who
Yeah,
might make the most sense.
I think we got a third rounder. I think we got a third rounder.
All right. So there you go.
We're working our way. We're working our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, I love talking to this guy. Every opportunity that I get to have a conversation with the WNBA Chicago Sky general manager and head coach James Wade, it is always so much fun. Coach, as always, I'm in your corner. I'm definitely going to see you at a couple of games this year. Man, my love to the entire family. And, here's to another great season, not just in the W, but for you, for the organization, for the team. And I'm curious, like everybody. I want to see what this next chapter of the Chicago Sky looks like. I mean, I might have called you up and hit you up if something would have happened to Kalia, but she's still there, so we good. As long
Kamila's
as my
here,
Philly
man.
girl is still there, I'm
And
okay.
she's gonna be here, man. And so she's gonna have a great year, and we're excited about that. With her being the face of everything we grow to that's coming next. And now it's gonna be good, man. Buckle
Awesome.
up.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Again, ladies and gentlemen, general manager, head coach of the Chicago Sky, James Wade. Coach, I always appreciate you, man. Much love. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.